Well, now to the UK, where whistleblower and WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange will find out in a matter of days whether his final appeal against US extradition is successful. Politicians here in Australia have called for Assange to be released, passing a motion calling on the US and UK to let him come home. But will they listen? Joining me now is Sky News contributor Martin Townsend, who joins us live from London. Good morning, Martin. Thank you very much for joining us. Look, this case has been going on for years, as we know, but what's the latest here? We could be days away from that final decision.
Yeah, there's going to be a hearing in London on Tuesday and Wednesday in which two judges in the High Court here will decide whether they want to uphold the decision to, to sort of send him back to America for trial, or whether they're going to allow his appeal and stop that from happening. So this is really the crunch point for Julian Assange at this point. And his wife has said today, I believe quite recently in recent hours, that she's not too hopeful about it. But we'll have to see. These things are so unpredictable, and we've seen this story go backwards and forwards for the last, 14 years since those original leaks were made. So it's been a really long, tough journey for Julian Assange.
It really has been, and you mentioned his wife, Stella. She is not hopeful that his appeal will be successful. This is what she said.
His health is in decline, mentally and physically. His life is at risk. Every single day he stays in prison. And if he is extradited, he will die.
This is his last chance for freedom, Martin. I mean, this is the reality. What's at stake if he now loses this appeal?
Well, he may still try to make a final appeal through the European Court of Human Rights. That is one other possible legal sort of move that he might make. He has been, his wife has a point. I mean, he has been held in arguably one of the toughest prisons in Britain, which is Belmarsh. This is a place that normally has terrorists, really high profile murderers. So, you know, it wouldn't have been a pleasant place for him. He's been there since 2019. There have been appeals in the past regarding his physical and mental health, and it may well be that the judges on Tuesday and Wednesday say, look, you know, he's not fit to stand trial in America. And so that's not going to happen. Also, you have to remember that the reciprocal arrangement between America and Britain on these kind of affairs is a little bit dodgy. You know, we tend to send people back to them more willingly than they send people to us, and that's become a little bit of an issue. So that'll be sort of in the background, a little bit hovering away, I reckon. Yeah,
it certainly will. I mean, there's so many different countries and nations involved in this. It'll be fascinating to see what happens. Let's move on now, because the UK is officially in a recession. That's been confirmed this week. What does this mean for Rishi Sunak's chances at this year's general election? Surely it doesn't mean good news for him.
It's disastrous, frankly, and coming on top of the fact that he lost 2 by-elections last night as well, and these were huge Tory sort of majorities that were overturned by Labour. So that came around the same time as he heard about this recession. The economy shrunk by 0.3%. So that's the sort of lowest. That's the first time we've been in recession actually since COVID. And a lot of the problems were caused by COVID. This is about sort of people, not enough people working. There are 973,000 jobs, I think there are available in the UK at the moment, and people just unwilling to do them. So there's been a lot of criticism of the UK workforce over the past 24 hours. But the bottom line is, for Rishi Sunak, he is facing defeat in the next election as things stand.
Yeah, I mean, those conditions are so bad. I mean, it's everywhere at the moment. Obviously, it's cost of living crisis everywhere, but those statistics are really shocking. All right, look, let's pivot.
Yes.
We've got to talk about the dreaded duo, as I call them, Harry and Meghan, because this week they launched their 4th website in 5 years. 4 in 5 years. I mean, seriously, how many times have these two tried to rebrand? And to be honest with you, Martin, what is their actual brand other than 2 whingers?
It's difficult to work out, but actually they're doing their best to try and build this brand. They've listed absolutely everything they've ever done since leaving the royal family on this website. So it's like the kind of this website is called Cambridge.com, and that's what's caused the controversy here, using the Cambridge name. Obviously, they made an undertaking to the Queen when they left the royal family that they weren't going to use their royal names for commercial gain, and this is sailing very close to doing that. In addition, Meghan has put her own coat of arms as part of the kind of website design. Now, that really isn't allowed under the rules. So, you know, I don't know if you use the phrase sailing close to the wind in Australia. I guess you do, because you're big sailors out there. But they are really sailing close to the wind, this terrible duo, as you call them.
Oh, it's seriously, Martin, it just gets more and more embarrassing. You know, you just want to say to them, enough is enough. Enough is enough. What are you doing? How far can they possibly keep pushing this? Seriously.
Well, we're going to see another development today, because later today it's just been announced that Prince Harry is going to be giving an interview in America in which he's going to talk about his father's cancer, and he's also going to be talking more about his life with Meghan. Now, those royal watchers will be watching, and the royal family indeed will be keeping a very careful eye on the kinds of things he says there, because, of course, here we go again. He had a 45-minute audience with Prince Charles, with the King rather, last week, and people will once again say they're drawing on the fact that they've got this access in order to make commercial gain. So, you know, the saga continues, and it's only going to get worse, I think. Yeah, a fly-in, fly-out London visit for 45 minutes, preceded by now what will probably be a huge interview. It'll go worldwide. Unbelievable, Indeed. These two.